Okay, so when you think about healthy snacks, specifically ones packed with magnesium, what's the first thing that pops into your head? I bet for a lot of you, it's almonds. They're kind of the poster child for this super important mineral. But what if I told you that whole reputation, it's a little overblown?
So, what do you think? Are they really the king of the hill when it comes to magnesium?
Yeah, it's not even close. So in this explainer, we're going to go on a little quest to find the real magnesium champions, the ones hiding right out in the open.
Okay, so before we can crown any new champions, we gotta set a baseline, right? We need something to compare everything to. And for that, we'll start with the humble almond.
So, a 1-ounce serving of almonds, that's about a handful, right? Gets you 76.5 milligrams of magnesium. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not bad. It's a solid 18 to 24% of your daily recommended intake. But just burn this number into your brain, 76.5. That's our benchmark. All right, so let's kick things off in the seed and nut category. You'd think this would be the almond's home turf, where it's unbeatable. But oh boy, there are some serious challengers. I think you're going to be surprised. And wow, would you look at this? I mean, right off the bat, even cashews and chia seeds squeak past almonds. But then you look higher up, pumpkin seeds blow them out of the water. And then there's the undisputed champion, hemp seeds, with a totally wild 210 milligrams per ounce. That's just staggering.
Okay, seeing it like this on a chart really drives the point home. Hemp seeds aren't just a little bit better. We're talking nearly 3 times the magnesium for the exact same serving size. It is an absolute knockout.
Okay, moving on. Let's talk about our next category, legumes. Now, these guys are fantastic sources, but there's a little secret, a little trick to getting all that magnesium-y goodness out of them.
So, a single cooked cup of any of these? Yeah, it easily cruises past our almond benchmark. Soybeans are leading the charge here with 148 milligrams. But, like I said, there's a bit of a catch with legumes.
See, legumes have these things in them called phytates and oxalates. The easiest way to think of them is like tiny little bodyguards for the minerals. They kind of stand in the way and can make it harder for your body to absorb all that great magnesium. Fun fact, and maybe a little frustrating, we only absorb about 30 to 40% of the magnesium from any food we eat. And these compounds, they're a big part of the reason why.
But hey, don't worry, there's a super simple fix. If you soak your beans, lentils, whatever, overnight before you cook them, it helps break down those phytates. It's easy. Just soak, drain, rinse, and boom, you're going to seriously boost how much magnesium your body can actually get its hands on. All right, next up is a category a lot of people sleep on, vegetables. And we're not just talking any vegetables, we're talking cooked leafy greens. These things are absolute monsters when it comes to magnesium.
You have got to see this. Just one single cup of cooked spinach packs 157 milligrams of magnesium. Let's go back to our benchmark for a sec. That ounce of almonds was 76.5. This is more than double the amount. And Swiss chard is right there with it at a whopping 150 milligrams.
I mean, look at this comparison right here. It's kind of crazy to think that a simple side of cooked spinach gives you twice the magnesium of that snack we all think of as the go-to. It's just such a great reminder that you don't always need exotic foods. Sometimes the real nutritional powerhouses are sitting right there in the produce aisle.
Okay, let's wrap up our little magnesium quest with our last 2 categories, grains and seafood. And I gotta tell you, when it comes to grains, the type you pick makes a huge difference.
This is just the perfect example of why whole versus refined really matters. So a cup of cooked brown rice, it gets you about 86 milligrams of magnesium, which, again, handily beats our almond benchmark. But then you look at white rice, and it's down to like 17 milligrams. That's because the milling process strips away all the good stuff, the bran and the germ, which is exactly where all the magnesium is hiding.
So the big takeaway here is that a super simple swap in your kitchen can have a massive impact. Just by grabbing whole wheat flour instead of white flour for your pancakes or bread, you're boosting the magnesium by nearly 6 times. I mean, come on, that's got to be one of the easiest health upgrades you can make.
And last but not least, let's take a quick trip to the seafood aisle. And hey, don't sleep on canned fish. As you can see here, a can of oysters or even just regular old tuna can give you a serious dose of magnesium. They're just a super convenient and powerful option to keep stocked in your pantry. Whew, okay, we've covered a ton of ground. So now, let's boil all this down into a simple, practical toolkit you can start using, like today. Okay, let's get super practical.
Next time you have yogurt, instead of those almond slivers, throw on some hemp or pumpkin seeds. When you're at the store, grab the whole grain bread and the brown rice instead of the white stuff. Whipping up an omelet or a stir-fry, wilt in some spinach or Swiss chard. It's so easy. And for your smoothies, try blending in some sesame butter. You probably know it as tahini, for a huge, creamy, magnesium-rich boost.
So if you remember nothing else from this, remember these 3 things. First, almonds are fine, they're good, but they are so not the best source of magnesium. Second, if you want the biggest bang for your buck, look to seeds, especially hemp and pumpkin, legumes, and cooked dark leafy greens. And third, how your food is processed matters a lot. Always choose whole grains and remember to soak your beans.
You know, we kicked this whole thing off by questioning the big reputation of almonds. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other health food truths are we all just accepting without a second thought? It's definitely something to chew on.